What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Alvin. Coming back, I want to share with y'all today just a quick testimony about my conversion to Christianity. Basically, to jump into it, growing up, my mom, she was, she is, not was, but she's a believer in Christ, she's a believer in Jesus. And I always go to church. Used to go to church with her every Sunday. Typical things as when you're a kid. You go with your parents to church or whatever. I pretty much think everybody can see where everybody kind of went to church with their parents as they were young when they were younger. One of the things that I used to do when I was when I would go to church, I never really paid attention to the to the teachings or to the pastor or whatever. I never really paid attention to it. To me it was just a bunch of shouting and yelling and saying a bunch of words stuff I didn't understand. One of the things though that did caught my attention, whenever I picked up the Bible, I always went to the end of the Bible and I always went into Revelation. And every time I would read it, it would put fear in me as to oh man, all this stuff supposed to happen, like judgment supposed to happen, and these demons supposed to come on earth and stuff like that. And it used to put fear in me, and I convinced myself this already happened, like this, we already passed this time, like this already happened. But little did I know it didn't even begin yet. So yeah, fast forward to that, growing up, got into things, got into, pornography, masturbation. I was really depressed a lot. I didn't know what that, what it was. I'm just handling it by myself, and I felt like I couldn't go to my parents or anybody close to me to help me with this. I just kind of dealt with it. And one of the things that really, as I grew in Christ, the music, it definitely ministers to your emotions. It ministers to you, wherever state that you're in. Like most of the time people are sad or they're upset or they're depressed or things like that. They put on these slow, sad beat songs and stuff like that. Or, it doesn't make it any better. You're just putting yourself deeper in the hole. And the same way how worship music can be used to uplift you, those type of music, with the beats and things like that, it can minister to your soul. It can minister to you to where you're in that depressed state even more. You get even deeper into the depressed state, and Satan can actually speak to you through that, tell you to commit suicide or do something like this or something like that, something to get you to get deeper into that darkness. But yeah, that was one thing I never knew what that was, as I kind of dealt with it as a kid. Very insecure. I always stayed to myself. I was very insecure. I didn't know my identity. I didn't know who I was and things like that. And I don't want to jump into the whole thing. I don't want to make it too long. But fast forward, 2016, I had moved into this apartment with one of my friends and my ex-girlfriend at the time I was dating at the time. And in that time, man, we was just, we was living it up. We was trying to, do this adulting thing, trying to, be out there on our own, so we ain't gotta be in nobody's roof. We live our own rules, do what we want to do. And for me personally, it was, like looking back on it, it was pure hell. I wasn't, like some of my friends, well, not most of my friends, but my friends' friends, most of them would come over and they would smoke a lot. And I'm not a smoker. I'm not saying like I'm a too goody two shoes or whatever, but yeah, I never really smoked. I never really drank. I never really into none of that. But yeah, his friends, they used to always come over. They used to always smoke a lot and things like that. And it got to a point to where somebody used to complain about it, the smell and stuff like that. And the apartment manager used to put notes on our everybody doors. Like somebody about complaining about the smell in this building or whatever. If they have to call the police to come search, you will, and you'll be prosecuted with things like that. And it just showed how God was protecting us in a way to not go down that path of getting arrested and things like that. Because, man, we could have easily gotten in trouble, for the amount that they used to smoke and things like that. So yeah, when after all that stuff was happening and we got behind on our rent and things like that, it got real bad. I just remember one night I was like, Lord, man, like, please help me get out of this, because, man, this is not good. Like, we need to go back to our parents. We're not ready for this yet. And I just remember like going for it, like, all right, bro, we just have to cut this lease off. We have to, end this lease. Everybody go back to their parents and regroup, and we start over. And by the time everybody had went back with their parents and everything like that, a couple of my friends had went to CGC. This is youth conference in Miami at King Jesus Ministries, and it was like for in a way it's kind of like in a way kind of like a youth revival, in a way, kind of, sort of. And they went, they came back, changed. My cousin, he had hurt his I think his ankle, and he came back, he was healed, he had to wear it no more. One of my other friends, he just lost that taste for smoking weed and things like that. Like, he got delivered from that, and I could see the change on them, and it made me hungry. Like, okay, I want that same thing that they got. I want to know what that is that they got, because they could tell that they changed. And so when they came back that Sunday, because I was going to their church or whatever, and when I came back that Sunday, I had they was praying for us and things like that. And I don't remember exactly what they was praying for me for, what they prayed for me for or whatever, but I do remember one day they was like, yeah, man, you gotta come to youth or whatever and things like that, this other church, you really love it, you gotta come. And I was like, yeah, I'll come. And one Friday I didn't come, but that following Friday, it was my birthday actually, and I happened to be off that day. So it was perfect, it was a perfect setup, for me to be off and, be able to go on a Friday. And my birthday was on a Friday. Wow, right? But yeah, they came and picked me up, they brought me there. And I just remember, first time I met Chris, my, I don't really say he's my youth pastor, but, that's my boy, that's my bro. And I remember the first time I met him, like he came, put his arm around me, like, what's up, man? And I don't exactly remember my exact reaction when I first met him, but he was like, he just got so close. It was just unnormal to me. It was just like, why is he so close to me like that? Like, why? And I didn't understand what it was, but, as of today, I understand what it is now. Just that joy he had on him and just how he is as a person, And yeah, and then I remember that night we was doing a shut-in, so we worshiped or whatever, and I just remember, I was worshiping with everybody. And I just remember I had my eyes closed, I was worshiping, and I remember, Chris came over to me. He was like, today is start, this is boot camp for you. This is the start of boot camp. And that kind of like, made it like, all right, now it's time to be transitioned from the kingdom of darkness to the kingdom of light. It's time for you to change how you living. And yeah, that's kind of like what I remember of that night. Tell me that is, this is boot camp for you. And we had to shut in. We went home. We got home at like 5 a.m, man. And I just remember I was reading the word, like I was getting deeper to the word, the Bible app, and we was doing a sanctification, 40-day sanctification and stuff like that. And so yeah, I just remember being really hungry for the word when I first started or whatever. I know it's not a drastic save experience, but for me it was, because at the time when I was working at Walmart actually before I got saved, and excuse me, I didn't know where my life was headed. I didn't have no direction. I didn't have, no plan for my life. I didn't know what was going on. I was just like, I'm just going to stay with my mom and I'm just going to work. I didn't have no type of direction for my life. I didn't know where I was going, where I was headed to. I didn't know, what was in store for me, and all that, I wasn't in my destiny in a way. Until I came to him, I bumped into Jesus, and he placed me in my destiny. Through my relationship with him, he placed me in my destiny. And, I have a wife, got married at 22 years old. We got two beautiful kids. It's the best experience ever. I would never trade it for anything in the world. It just enlightened me more about what being a Christian is about, being a Christ follower is about, and just from what I've learned when I was growing up, versus what I actually experienced, is different, and just what what is taught in the Word and things like that was said in the Word, and it just opened my eyes to a new, something new, something fresh. And and then, man, he placed me in my destiny, and ever since, I just been going forward, and learning more about him, learning more about me, knowing my identity in him, what it's like to be a son, and just knowing that I had a victory through Jesus Christ, and just knowing that he, one of the things I know I said one time I had taught, he saved me from something that I couldn't save myself from, and that's real, because a lot of times we try to save ourselves from something that, that's beyond our own saving, our own strength. You're going to need Jesus to save you from certain things. You're going to need Jesus to save you from, pornography and things like that, and like when I got saved, like all that stuff left me, like cursing, like I used to curse like a sailor, like I used to curse like really bad, masturbation, pornography, I had a lot of pride, just certain things like that. Like a lot of that stuff left instantly, like the pornography, the desire to watch that, and the desire to curse, it just left me completely. And it was really life-changing. It was really magnificent, and and I could see like this is the fruit of my mom's prayers. She prays for all of her kids. It's four of us. She always prays for us that we experience God in our own way, not just from her telling us or, things like that, and so I really appreciate my mom for praying for me, and, whoever else is praying for me. I'm sure plenty of people in my family have been praying for me and things like that, to know who he is, and, I'm forever grateful for that I'm able to experience that, and, to be able to having to go through his suffering in order to partake in his glory, to understand what it's like to suffer with him. And so, I want to, just share my testimony of coming to Christ, coming to him. And I guess I'll add one more little quick thing to it. When I got born again, we had this youth conference. We started this 40-day, sanctification. We wasn't on social media, anything like that. We had limited communication with people, things like that, just focusing on the Lord, focusing our relationship with God. And we had this youth conference, I think it was around like October-ish, and I was bent on like, man, I want to speak in tongues so bad. I used to always pray and ask God, like, I really want to speak in tongues. I really want this. And it got to the youth conference, we did, taught everything like that. They had and it's so wild because, man, they had a call that was like, if you had never speak in tongues, you need to come up here. And so, man, I went over there. I was just like, I never spoke in tongues. I just had my hands open wide, and somebody's praying for me. It's like, it's already in you. You just got to release it. And they're praying for me and whatever. And I started speaking it a little bit, and I just remember dropping to my knees, and somebody spoke to me. I forgot. I think it was somebody I knew that they spoke to me. It was one of my sisters, and and like I was just broke, man. I was just broken, man. I just remember I had my hands out, and whole time like behind me, it's a whole deliverance going on behind me, and that I was just like, and I just remember I couldn't lift my head up. I couldn't move or nothing. Like I was just stuck. Like I could not move or anything. Like I was just stuck. And man, I remember when I tried to get up, like it was close to, it was really at the end. I remember I tried to get up, and it's just like the weight was still on me, and like I could barely move. Like I could barely get up to start walking right. But I think that became the results of us fasting. It made us more open to the spirit realm, make us more open to the Holy Spirit and to what God wanted to do. And so, but yeah, I just want to add a quick little thing in there. My born again experience, my saved experience. Just to let you guys see, and know what it's like. And I don't downplay my testimony, because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that deals with depression. And if you are dealing with depression, bro, like, don't feed into the depression. Don't feed into, like, listen to sad songs. You need to listen to uplifting songs, because even His word, it says that praise for the garment for the spirit of heaviness, put on the garment of praise. Yeah, so when you put on the garment of praise, when you actually praising, that's what defeats the spirit of heaviness. Be in that state. And that don't mean listen to worldly upbeat songs, but like listen to some actual upbeat songs, like Christ-centered worship, uplifting, praising songs. And so, because you never know what those uplifting songs from the world have, what spirit is behind those artists that made those songs. So just be careful when it comes to that. So yeah, I just wanted to bring this quick little testimony to you guys of my conversion. And I hope I see you guys soon. I'm trying to push out some more content. Make sure you follow my wife's other channel, her beauty page. Ladies, if you want some beauty tips and things like that, just follow her page and let her, she can be pumping out some more content too. So love you guys. Peace out.